Hey guys, so this video lesson is going over similar figures and corresponding parts. Please make sure you have the notes open so you can follow along with me. So the first couple of slides, we're actually going to go over some vocabulary words. So please make sure at the top here, you can see up here, we're going to fill in the vocab word that corresponds to the definition below. So this first one is similar figures. So go ahead and either type it, write it, whatever you want. So similar figures, the definition is they are the same shape, they are different sizes. So if you see at the bottom here, I gave you two examples or an example of similar figures. They are the same exact shape, but one is larger, one is smaller, so different sizes. Part of similar figures is that their corresponding angles are congruent. Congruent just means equal. So for the angles inside of these shapes, like those two angles right there, those would be congruent or the exact same number. So let's say, for example, I'm totally making this up, but if this angle right here was 126 degrees, then the corresponding angle on this similar figure would also be 126 degrees. So corresponding angles are congruent in similar figures. But then at the same token, if you look at the fourth bullet point, it says corresponding sides are proportional. Proportional means that they're not going to be the same number. But let's say, for example, this side right here was 4 and this one was 2. On our smaller figure. Well, that's proportional if this one was 6 up here and this was 3, because then this would have been reduced by 2, right? Our bigger one would have been reduced by 2, which would have made this a proportional reduction. Okay, so their corresponding sides of similar figures are always proportional. And the symbol we use, super important that we know this, the symbol we use for similar figures is that little squiggly line there, and you can see they have it in between the two figures right here. All right, next one is going to be congruent figures. So remember I told you in that first slide, congruent means equal. So in congruent figures, they are same size, same shape, everything is the same. So corresponding angles, so like in these two shapes, if this angle here and this angle here, they would be exactly the same. And then corresponding sides are also congruent. So like this side here is the same length as that side there. So in congruent figures, everything is equal. Our symbol for that is that little squiggly line we used for similar figures, but with an equal sign underneath. So the next one, scale factor, is actually already filled out for you. You can see that is when these two figures are similar figures, right? Although the sides of the two shapes can be different, the corresponding sides of the two shapes must differ by a scale factor. So that's what I was saying before when on that first slide when it was divided by 2. That would have been the scale factor. This one here, you can see it is going up. So that's 2, this is 4, this is 3, this is 6. So that's going up by times 2, which is considered our scale factor. It's what the figure is being scaled up or scaled down by. This next slide kind of describes exactly what we just did. Remember, these are similar figures here. It has that little symbol there. And you can see the scale factor is times 2, exactly what we just showed in that last slide. So this next one, if you are making something bigger, you are enlarging it. So our key term here is enlargement. And it's exactly how it sounds. It's making an image from being small and we're making it bigger, right? We're enlarging an image. So that if I'm taking a smaller image and I'm making it bigger, I would be multiplying it, right? My scale factor would be multiplying it by some number. And these are considered similar figures. Because remember, corresponding angles would be congruent, corresponding sides would be proportional, which is going up by that times 3. Next one, same idea, still dealing with scale factor, except this time we're dealing with reductions. right? So if I reduce something, I take it from something that's larger and reducing it into a smaller image. So in this one, they took our finish line runner and divided it by 4. They reduced the image. It still kept them as similar figures, right? It is the same exact image. It's just a smaller picture. So we're actually going to practice some of this with a few of these images. So if you see on the right hand side, we have our 2 shapes, our 2 polygons. We have to figure out first, the letter A says figure out our corresponding angles. So it's asking angle A and what angle on your other polygon are corresponding. So if I can see here is letter A right here, well, that corresponds to letter E on that first polygon. So all I have to do, this little symbol here that I'm about to draw is just angle E and angle A correspond with each other, right? You can also notice that they're the exact same degrees, 114 degrees, 114 degrees, which is super important. They need to match perfectly to be corresponding. All right, how about next one, angle B? Well, here's angle B. Right here is 66. Well, that's going to correspond to angle F up top. So I'm going to draw my little angle symbol and F. Following that same pattern, angle C is over here, 114 degrees, corresponds to angle G at 114 degrees as well. Whoops, that was sloppy. Angle G. And then last but not least, angle D, 66 degrees, corresponds to angle H in our first polygon there. Okay, so notice that our shapes look identical, right? They're all oriented the same exact way, which is super important. Your angles have to match 66 degrees, 66 degrees. So letter B just asks, are all corresponding angles congruent? So are all of the angles that we said corresponded, do they all equal the same thing? And we just figured out that yes, they do. So we can just put yes. Then next we are looking at the sides. So it says corresponding sides A, B. So I'm going to actually just highlight right there. So that corresponding side needs to correspond to the side EF. Now be careful, order definitely matters here. Remember, or notice they did not say side BA, so we have to follow that same order. They said A to B, so we need to write it E to F. So EF, and that little symbol, that little line above that just tells me that's a side that I'm looking at. So next one, same idea. We're looking at side BC right up top. So that went from B to C. So we need to do the same thing from F to G. So BC corresponds to side FG with our little line above it. Same thing, next one, side CD corresponds to GH. And then last but not least, AD corresponds down here. So be careful, they tried to trick you on this, AD. And EH are corresponding sides. So be careful, they switched up that order on you. So are all the corresponding sides proportional? Well, that is more than just looking at this. So we have to actually look at the numbers on the sides in order to figure this out. So notice on from A to B and E to F. So let's figure that out. A to B was 6 and E to F was 7.5. And then on the bottom, we had A to D was 8 and E to H was 10. So we kind of treat this like 2 ratios here, and we need to figure out if they're proportional or not. So a couple ways you can do this. One way is using that butterfly method, totally fine. Or you can figure out if there's a nice number you can multiply or divide by. In this case, butterfly method seems to look a lot nicer because I know there's no simple number to go from 6 to 8, and 7.5 to 10. So I'm going to cross multiply 7.5 times 8. So take out your calculator. 7.5 times 8 is 60. And then cross multiply the other way to make our pretty butterfly. We have 6 times 10. Hopefully you don't need a calculator for that. And we get 60. So those two ratios are proportional. So the corresponding sides are, yes, proportional here. All right, next one we're doing the same thing. This time we're just looking at 2 triangles instead of 2 polygons. So the following triangles are similar. That's what they're telling us, they are similar. So in similar figures, remember back, similar figures have corresponding angles are congruent, meaning their angles are the same. Corresponding sides are proportional. So they told us this. So now we have to figure out, in letter A, it says triangle ABC is similar to triangle what on my second figure. So make sure this is where order again is super important. They went from A to B to C here to name this triangle. So we have to do the exact same thing on the second triangle. Notice these little lines in the corner help you figure out which angle is congruent to which. So angle A only has 1 line. That is congruent to angle D, which also only has 1 line. Angle B has 2, so that's congruent to angle E. And then angle C has 3 lines, which is congruent to angle F down here. That's just a different way to show which angles are corresponding to the other angle in the other figure. So in our triangle ABC, that is similar to DEF. So they had our little triangle symbol for us. We have to write DEF. Next, side AB. Let me erase this. Side AB, remember order does matter. Going from A to B is similar or corresponds to DE. Draw our little line above it, letting us know that's a side. Next, angle F corresponds to, well, I kind of already went over that. Angle F has those 3 lines, which corresponds to angle C in our first triangle there. Side FD corresponds, well, FD is down here. We're going that direction. That would correspond to side CA. So make sure order matters. We're going from C to A. And then last but not least, this one can trip a few people up, but don't worry, it's not that much different than what we did. This says angle ACB. So let me draw that out. ACB corresponds to what? So follow the same order on your second figure. DFE. So they went from A to C and then C to B. We go from D to F and then F to E. So angle ACB corresponds to angle DFE.